And it is the retro Cobra Commander from GIJoe Classified. So let's get him opened up and take a look. Alright, so like I said, we have the stand with the Cobra logo on it. Let me just peg his feet right in. Let's do one for now, since we're going to take him off in a minute. He's got 3 sets of hands. So he has a pointing hand, I'm going to call it a beg for mercy hand. It's not exactly a C grip. He's got 2 fisted hands. And he's got the hands that are on him, which is a trigger finger. Actually, they're both trigger fingers. Here's the knife. And here is his backpack. Very reminiscent of the old figure. And then here is his gun. His little handgun. Does have like a little red cross on it there. And like I said, you can holster this in the backpack, which is nice. Alright. Like I said, decent amount of accessories. He can holster his knife. Ooh, oh, that's a little annoying. Can holster his knife right there, but the holster does slide up and down. So that'll be maybe among the complaints. We'll see how annoying that gets. Alright, take a look at the figure himself. So this is the retro Cobra Commander. Definitely liking the mask with the foil wrap. It's got the white stripe on the top of the helmet. Cobra logo here. I do love the undershirt that you can see, like the light blue undershirt here is really cool. It like really pops. The white stripe here with his little, I assume like a communicator or something. Got the belt with the red arrow pointing up. Here's the back. Peg for his backpack and his straps. And then you can see the holster on the back. Little pockets. Oops, sorry. Little pockets there. Here are his shoes. Not much to them. Pretty much just regular, almost like loafery type shoes. The sides of his pants kind of like go down past the shoe though. So I guess it's like a wraparound type thing. They didn't wrap it completely around, but interesting look there. Very military-like look. Yeah. So the aesthetic so far, just overall, looks really good. It's such a classic-looking Cobra Commander. She did a really good job of bringing that to life. You know, we've had a couple different Cobra Commanders in this line. Snake Supreme, obviously the Once a Man one. And then the original one they did it was a much more darker blue. So it's nice to have this nice light blue. And we had the Regal. There's been a bunch of them. And then we're going to have the armored one coming up, which just went up for pre-order. So if anybody's after that, actually, we always share affiliate links for pre-orders. So give us a follow on Instagram. And if you need a link for that, it'll be right there for you. Or shoot me a DM and I can let you know. Alright, so pegging this backpack in. There's still a little separation there. I just don't want to push it too hard because I don't want to break or bend the peg there. That'll be good enough. That's fine. Might help with articulation to have it separated back a little bit. Yeah. Alright, let's do a little articulation segment with him. So Look up is okay. Of course, he does have this helmet on, so it is going to stop you from looking all the way up, of course. Down. And he does have that separate neck piece to go along with his head, so it does give you that extra, like, little bit of range of articulation there. As you can see that they're moving independently of each other there. Here is the arm going up. Totally fine. Bicep swivel. It's a regular bicep, which we gotta crack that a little bit to get to our double jointed. Hold on, let me do this off screen so I don't break it. We got it. Just didn't want to do it at a weird angle there. Alright, so there's the double bicep right there. He does have a wrist swivel. And obviously the hands will have different articulation depending on where it is. Bicep. Sorry. Butterfly joints here. Been a minute. Been a minute since we reviewed a figure. Lean forward. Lean back. Nice satisfying crack there. He has the waist. Drop down hips, as we've come to accustom from GIJoe. He's got the upper thigh right there. The double knees right there. Look at that. Very nice. Oh, and he does have a swivel above the ankle. There. What up, Bobby? And then he's got the feet and some ankle pivot there. Alright, so good articulation here. Now I want to mix up some hands and get him into some interesting Cobra Commander-like poses. I will say, the most annoying thing is definitely this holster here. It should just be glued in place. I don't know why they went with an independent holster. We've had this issue in the past with, like, Cyclops, even though he just had, like, the little yellow things there. So, definitely something to consider in the future. Or maybe if you want to make that modification yourself, I would maybe just glue these. Alright, I want the... let's see. Well, the left hand has to be the right hand has to be the point, so we're going to do that. I mix up hands on Fridays too. There you go. Gotta have the point. Give me the gun. The interesting thing is that they gave him the trigger finger, which, I mean, of course it still looks good because it's a trigger finger, but there's like there's no loop here on that gun. Alright, let's see if we want to use the stand. Just for like a normal pose. There he is. There's a nice shot of him. Yeah, yes, the blow dryer gun. If he had hair, he would be blow drying his hair for sure. Yeah, I mean, it is a gorgeous looking figure. The blue just like, it just pops so much. Like I said, I love the undershirt, the mix of the whites and the blues. Yeah, the chrome wrapped mask. Just so cool. So cool. And honestly, the articulation is very impressive. Cobra Commander! Of course, I do my worst Cobra Commander when we're doing the review. You can't do this to me! What up, Monkey? How you doing, bud? There he is there. Alright, we'll maybe do a little more posing when we start mixing it up and showing different figures, I guess. Yeah, I will be at ToyCon, yes. I will be at ToyCon. You have a booth? It's not as raspy as I want it to be. GIJoe! It's a combination of me not wanting to be too loud, but you gotta hit that, like, it's me, Cobra Commander! You can't do this to me! There we go. We got there. We got there in the end, guys. Well, the same person that did the voice of Starscream did the voice of Cobra Commander, so that, my friend, is a compliment. They're pretty much the same voice.